Welcome back. You're watching Left, Right and Centre. Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh met with a leader of the Gorkha Janmukti Morcha this evening, the organisation which is spearheading the statehood demand. The Home Minister stepped in after Darjeeling, the popular hill resort of Bengal, witnessed an upsurge of violence, and the matter turned into a crisis for Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. Violence started in the morning as a huge police force descended at the home office of the GJM chief Vimal Gurung and seized arms including bows and arrows and the police explosives and cash. Morcha supporters then clashed with the police, who responded with tear gas and lathi charges. Trouble spread to neighbouring Kalimpong district, where a police post was set on fire and 2 other government properties were attacked. Additional police forces were rushed in to bring the situation under control. The GJM has called an indefinite bandh across Darjeeling. A meeting will be held on the 19th of June between the representatives of the centre and the state government and the Gorkha Territorial Administration. All right, so forces being deployed to control the fires burning in the hills. Is that the solution, or is there even a solution? In Delhi, to discuss this, we'll have the GJM General Secretary, Mr. Roshan Giri, who met with the Home Minister just an hour or so ago. Also joining us from Kolkata on the show tonight from the TMC will be Dr. Kakoli Ghosh. We have Om Prakash Mishra, the General Secretary and spokesperson of the Bengal Congress, also joining us from Kolkata, from Darjeeling. We have Upendra Pradhan, a columnist and writer, joining us on the show, and Neeraj Zimbat among the spokesperson of the GNLF, which could also be another group that could be playing a deciding role in this crisis as it plays out. Do we have Mr. Roshan Giri on the phone? All right, Mr. Giri, I don't know if you can hear me. I just want to ask you, you just met with the Home Minister, the centre now stepping into this issue. What were your demands? Do you feel satisfied that the centre will respond? Mr. Giri, can you hear me? I want to ask you how your meeting went with the Home Minister. What were your demands?
We demanded concrete step by the Government of India on the demand of Gorkha land, central intervention and notification by the Chief Minister withdrawing the forcible imposition of Bangla language in the Darjeeling Hills, Silguri, Terai and Doers. Those were the agendas of the meeting.
All right, Mr. Giri, well, it's one thing to be an alliance partner with the BJP, but do you actually think the centre will go in for a separate Gorkha land state? Are you being politically naive? Wouldn't that be opening up a Pandora's box for the BJP government? Are you just being politically played here?
You see, this is one of the oldest demands of the country, right from 1907. We are not at all happy to be within the framework of West Bengal. We want a separate state that is a quest for an identity, an all-round development of the people of the Darjeeling Hills, Silguri, Terai and Doers. And Government of India, respecting the people's aspiration, should concede to the demand, long-standing demand. And BJP in its manifesto have clearly stated that they will sympathetically examine the long-pending demand of the Gorkhas, Adivasis of Darjeeling district and Doers region, and will sympathetically consider it. So they are in power today. So we have requested the government do something, because we are not at all safe in West Bengal. Just see the situation in the hills.
All right, Dr. Ghosh, you heard Mr. Giri there. He said that the spark for this latest agitation is your government's decision that Bengali be made compulsory in all schools in the state. Yes, I know you're going to say that the government has clarified, but has the damage already been done? You have a self-goal here. You've shot yourself in the foot. Not just have you given the Morcha an issue to agitate over, now you've even got the centre stepping in.
You see, first of all, this is absolutely unfounded. There is no such order that a particular language be made compulsory for every student. There is this 3-language norm in which, in the country, whole of the country, in which the mother tongue is usually the first language and any other 2 languages are learned by the child. So it has been said that as a 3rd or a 4th language, in optional case, this particular language can be taken by the students. And there are so many other languages in the state. So why should one language be picked up on? This is just an excuse to start problem where there is so much of peace. The peace has to be broken, and this is no democracy, because when the cabinet meeting was going on last week in a very peaceful situation, tourists were there, development is taking place in the district, a new secretariat has been formed as Uttar Kanya, multi-speciality hospital has been formed, drinking water problem has been solved, the youth is, they are getting jobs, children are getting education. To disturb the situation, bombs were thrown, Molotov cocktails were thrown, stones were pelted, more than 50 policemen were injured, a lady CRPF had her head split, another CRPF Jawan had his eye thrown out of his eyeball. This is no democracy, this is hooliganism, and the GTA tripartite agreement specifically mentioned that a duty of the GTA was to maintain peace and law and order. But what they were doing, the whole world has seen on television last week. So the state government is duty bound to bring back peace and order in that particular place for the safety security of the common citizen, for the tourists, for the people who are carrying out business, commerce, shops. The livelihood is being disturbed and the leaders are stocking weapons in their homes and offices. So naturally, to bring back peace, the government has to take some step which is within the democratic constitutional framework.
Mr. Giri, would you like to respond to that? The fact is that the TMC has won the municipal elections in Mirik. It's fast expanding its support in the support base in the hills, it seems. Is that what this is actually about? The TMC says they are providing development and you are now feeling nervous. Mr. Giri, can you hear me? All right, let me see if I can get the line up on Mr. Giri, but then Kakoli, let me ask you again, but the fact is also complicating matters for you is that the Gorkha National Liberation Front or the GNLF, they've also broken their alliance with you and they've joined the GJM. That's a double whammy for you, irrespective of everything that you've said.
So we always want to sit and talk with people. We welcome all kinds of discussion within the constitutional framework. But when a part of their system is showing, you are showing yourself. There are bows, there are arrows, and last week there were bombs. The firing took place. People were injured. So whoever is joining and going out, we will like to sit and talk and discuss. But before that, law and order has to be brought back. It is a responsibility of the government, and that is what they are doing. So Mamata Banerjee, our Honorable Chief Minister, has done so much for development. She's formed the other boards, and all the other people, the other boards, they are together with the Lepcha board. Then we have won in a democratic election, the Mirik also. And our vote share has increased. Democracy is being restored. That is why they are scared, because the hundreds and thousands of crores of money that had been given to GTA for development, there is no proper accounts of that. So for all these reasons, this is as a eyewash and to distract the whole situation, this is being done. But we will bring back law and order, and then after that, everybody is welcome to sit, discuss and come to an agreement.
All right, let's try Mr. Giri again. The TMC there's asking what's happened to all the money that was given for development. All of this is an eyewash. They're making political gains and you are nervous about that.
No, absolutely not. CAG has already done the audit. They have found nothing. There's a special audit by the West Bengal government. Even now, we welcome that idea also. We have not gone into corrupt practices. Whatever amount the central gave, with that we have done the development. Government of West Bengal always tried to intervene in the matters of GTA. There's a dual administration running, one by the district administration, one by the GTA. GTA has virtually collapsed. Autonomy has failed. Nothing has been done by the West Bengal government. It is because Gorkha Janmukti Morcha was there, we have restored normalcy, peace, everything. And it is because of the police atrocities the trouble has started. With the huge contingent of police force, they want to crush our movement. It is people's aspiration. In democracy, people's aspirations should be respected.
All right, let's go. Let's bring in Neeraj Zimba here. Neeraj, you heard Kakoli Ghosh. The GNLF had allied with the TMC in the recent civic body polls. Now, within a month, you've changed your stand. Yes, it is embarrassing for the Trinamool, but it doesn't show you in a good light either. You don't believe that the public will see through this as political opportunism?
It's nothing about political opportunism. It's basically the idea was with the with the TMC we had an electoral alliance. It was just seat sharing. But with the Gorkha Janmukti Morcha on a single point of agenda, we have an ideological alliance because the aspiration of the people of Darjeeling is Gorkha land. And being the spokesperson of the party that brought forward the demand of Gorkha land to the Indian roadmap, Subhash Singh was the principal architect who first designed and brought the Gorkha land movement to the national framework. He constitutionalized the demand. And it is not about political opportunism. It is about the aspirations of the Gorkha people. And the GNLF party being a hill-based party, Gorkha-based party, our first demand and last demand is on Gorkha land. And on that reason, we are on the same footing with Gorkha Janmukti Morcha.
All right, so that's how one justifies joining hands with the GJM, which broke away from you in 2007. Let's bring in Upendra Pradhan also from the Congress. Upendra Pradhan, who is a journalist and a political commentator. Upendra, you know, depending on who you speak with, one narrative is that the people have started to lose confidence in the movement. Mamata Banerjee is holding out the promise of development, as you heard Dr. Ghosh. According to you, what is the truth behind this agitation and the timing of it?
Well, I think, you know, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that is what has happened in West Bengal, from what I can see. After Mamata Banerjee won the municipal polls in the hills, this is the first time in last 20 years a Bengal-based party has won civic elections in the hills. I think the TMC people started to feel that they have a chance in the hills, and they started to assert themselves in a more forceful way than they had done ever before, and they used the language tool as a means of, entering the hills. What is happening in West Bengal, particularly in North Bengal, is that the West Bengal government has consciously made an effort to spread linguistic hegemony. They're spreading form of linguistic imperialism here by trying to make Bengali compulsory. See, on 15th of May, the Education Minister Partho Chatterjee said that we are going ahead with a 3-language policy, and out of the 3, one of the languages has to be Bengali. On 16th, the Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee herself reiterated the fact in a Facebook post. After the protest started in the hills, they said, we have never wanted to do that. That was never our intention. And then they started to say, these protests are based on rumors and there has been no official notification. What the Chief Minister and the TMC party has conveniently forgotten is that the people are protesting against the intent of the government made clear by the Education Minister as well as the Chief Minister herself. It was only when people started to protest, they said that we are not going to go ahead with that policy. However, the Chief Minister said, make Bengali, 4th language. The fact of the matter is that Bengali is already being taken as optional by hill students, by students across Bengal. Whoever wants to take it, they are able to take it. Even in our Darjeeling Hills, every year we have students from various schools who complete their education with Bengali as second languages. So there is no need for Bengal government to say that we are going to make
Bengali optional because it is already optional. So this, there was an attempt on the part of government of West Bengal to reassert Bengalism. That is what I call it. They wanted to make a homogeneous community in West Bengal, and they wanted to do away with the diversity that we have. North Bengal, of which we are a part, which is a very sensitive chicken neck area, which borders 4 different countries here, is a very diverse place. We have the Gorkhas, we have the Adivasis, we have the Kamtapuris, the Rajbangshis, the Totos. So the linguistic diversity here is immense. We have the Biharis, the Marwadis, and it's not just the Bengalis who live here. So when the state government says, out of the 3 languages that you have to learn, one of them has to be Bengali, it certainly puts people on a back foot, and it gets all of us thinking, not just the Gorkhas, but even the Rajbangshis, even the Adivasis thinking, what is going to happen to my mother language? And I think this protest started from there, and once, there was immense, heavy-handed crackdown on the protesters, people started to feel that, we don't have any future in Bengal, where we are being treated as a second-class citizen. We have to get out of Bengal so that our rights are protected, so that our language is protected. That is why the demand for Gorkhaland has
All right, so was it a self-goal after some civic poll gains by the TMC? Dr. Ghosh, let's go back to you. What happened to the spirit of inclusiveness? What happened to the spirit of diversity? If the centre had imposed, or when it tries to impose Hindi on the rest of India, the TMC would have been at the helm of protest. Mamata Banerjee would have been at the helm of protest. Why are there different rules when it comes to your state?
It is not the correct representation of what actually has transpired. It was never imposed. Nepali kura bandu sardaina. It doesn't mean that I don't respect. I respect Nepali. I respect all languages that have been included in our constitution. We all do. Our country, we are proud of all the languages. And even our state chief minister has never said that that must be made compulsory. It is just being mongered. It's a gossip mongering to disturb the peace, because so much of development is taking place in state of West Bengal over the past 6 years, and also in Darjeeling. Every nook and corner. I have been brought up in Darjeeling. Otherwise, I couldn't have said what I said, the language. But this is misrepresentation. And if there is some kind of a disagreement, it should be discussed, not throwing bombs or not throwing Molotov cocktails, not throwing law and order, or not hitting the people. Can you come to solution? It has to be discussed.
No one has thrown bombs.
So we want that
no one has thrown bombs.
I agree
and
with
discussion be.
It is the
There
TMC
should not be law and
cadres
order problem.
who threw stones and
Mr. Giri,
created
respond
trouble.
to that quickly. I know you want to
It is
respond.
not the Gorkha Janmukti Morcha who created the trouble.
There would have been severe casualties. Nobody has thrown bombs.
Yes, I agree with the
No, there has been. It is on the screen. We saw it on TV when the cabinet meeting was going on.
Government of West Bengal, they can say anything, they can go to any extent.
Police vehicles were burnt.
Crush the
Police
movement.
vehicles were burnt. Even today, media vehicles have been burnt. This is not constitutional. This is not democracy.
The police
You might have
high-handedness,
some demand,
police
but
atrocities.
don't cause fire, injury, harm, and don't try to kill people by
No
throwing
bombs were
stones.
used.
One police
If you call
personnel
chili
has
bombs
his
the
eye
real
brought
bomb,
down.
All right. I don't think our viewers can really hear any of you. You're all
you
talking
see
over
the
there.
rest
So
of
let's
West
go first to
Bengal.
Prakash Mishra.
When
You're the
recent
spokesperson
municipal
for the
elections
Bengal
were
of
held,
Congress. Mr. Mishra, I'm sure you're
News
enjoying
were very-
watching Mamata Banerjee squirm like this, but the Congress was in power for most of the period 1980 to 2004. Why didn't the UPA create Gorkhaland when you were in power?
Well, you see, it's a question of political accommodation and political management. Over the past 3 decades, this demand has been there, and whenever there has been a Congress government, whether in the 1980s or in 2011, political accommodation was reached based on the representation of the state government. Now, Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool Congress is the present and primary instigator of this round of violence. What is happening in West Bengal is most surprising, because the Chief Minister who is attempting to adopt a confrontational stand, and that is why we find that there is a Dadagiri versus Didigiri going on in Darjeeling. We are against the bifurcation of the state. At the same time, we think a confrontational approach is not needed at all. It is the Trinamool Congress. It is the Trinamool Congress which actually wants to control the local bodies, which is wanting to control the local politics, which is completely unacceptable. Dr. Ghosh Dostizar has already had her time. Let me finish my point. My
Dr.
point
Ghosh,
is
please let him
that
speak.
why the Trinamool Congress wanted to include the question of Gorkha land as a function of record in the official agreement. So it is Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool Congress that is the primary instigator. Now they have become very ambitious. They want to adopt a confrontational standpoint. Darjeeling is a very sensitive area. It's a national security concerns are involved, and so therefore it is in fact accommodation that should have been reached. But it seems that the state government and the ruling party, they want to ride roughshod over. So instead of trying to reach
Upendra, so I want to ask you then, Upendra,
we
Darjeeling
are
perennially been on the boil because neither the CPM nor the TMC have been able to culturally integrate the Gorkhas into the mainstream. Again, today we saw these video police reports that weapons were seized. You have the Gorkhas claiming these are actually their traditional equipment, and they say the fact that the mainstream is calling traditional equipment as weapons, that is bows and arrows, proves that their culture and heritage and rights are not being respected.
See, the funny thing is this, Ms. Mamata Banerjee was given the title of Kintu Dharmik by the Lepcha community in Darjeeling, and the Lepchas are the ones who use bow and arrow as their traditional celebration of their tradition. And today, to label the bows and arrows as a form of weapon, to label speeds, the district administration put forward speeds and showed it as arms and ammunition. I think you can see this overdrive on the part of the government to portray this entire language issue, to portray this entire Gorkhaland issue as somehow being international, as being driven by terrorists and whatnot, right? There was, in fact, a Times of India article which said that Gorkhas have shaken hands with the militants in Northeast. How ridiculous is that? So I think that in the lack of responsible media, I'm thankful to NDTV, they have done justice to covering the news from all angles, especially Mamata Banerjee ji. There have been press that have been busy in maligning this entire issue instead of trying to understand what is actually going on in Darjeeling. As far as national security is concerned, I feel that it is very, very important from the point of view of national security to form a separate state comprising of the Darjeeling Hills, Sarai and Duars, because in absence of this, the Bangladeshis are entering our region in large number, and as I said earlier, this is a chicken neck area, and if concrete steps are not taken immediately, there may come a day when all these areas will be overrun by Bangladeshis, and it will be Islamicized, and this part of India may actually secede to Bangladesh. So I
all right, so the centre has already stepped into this serious, what's now becoming a very serious issue. But Dr. Ghosh, I want to let you quickly respond to that. So we're calling it a witch hunt. Respond to that.
No, of course not. You see, first what I would request from all sides is it is a tripartite agreement. So all sides should sit, discuss and restore peace. That is of utmost importance. Let democracy be installed, and then we can take care of the problems that are arising forward. And whatever problem is arising, national issue, international issue, local issue, let us talk.
For 5 times.
No, because you see, what happens is, during a cabinet meeting, if they are throwing bombs and trying to attack the area of the government cabinet meeting, or trying to injure the policemen, the situation goes out of democracy. It was all on national TV.
All right, so Mr. Giri, can I come in? Can I come in? There's going to be representatives of the centre, the state and the GTA The TMC is saying this is a tripartite agreement. The only solution is if everybody comes together and talks. The last word to you tonight. What is the solution?
And within democratic framework, but peace has to be restored.
Home Minister, ma'am, you may shout as much as you want to.
Mr. Giri, go ahead.
At the end of the day, it won't make you correct. See, the Home Minister has called for a tripartite meeting on the 19th of June. On the 19th of June, they invited West Bengal government, GTA representatives, as well as the
No, that is, I think, it's incorrect. That is just a rumor. That is just a rumor.
To be a part of this discussion, which was supposed to be held on the 19th of June. So when doctor says that this is a tripartite issue, needs to be talked it out, I think she needs to do some introspection on who is refusing to do the talking. I think it is high time that the West Bengal
you have vitiated the atmosphere. You have vitiated the atmosphere. You have,
can I come in
the
briefly?
situation is
Alright,
vitiated.
sorry, we are completely out of time. But this story is certainly not going away anywhere. There's a call for an indefinite strike. So the story is definitely far from over. And the question, of course, is who will blink first. That's it on Left, Right and Centre. Stay tuned. The news at 9 coming up.